shit is right. What's up, nerd? How we all doing? Here on a Thursday night. Let me get this situated. Brand new corner of the movie room. Just trying to switch things up for tonight. And it's going to be kind of crazy. I didn't see many announcements this week. We don't have a ton. We got a bunch of partner labels from Vinegar Syndrome, but not much of anything else. So I have a ton of pickups to go over, including this beast from Vinegar Syndrome. I have yet to even read the outside to see if I got any well-known film, so we're going to check it out tonight together. Hopefully you guys don't mind taking a look at that. What's going on, Mitchell? Good to see you. Hey, Dave. Hey, Jeff. What's going on, Lisa? Thanks, Paul. I love this shirt, even though it's kind of wearing me right now. Hey, Darren. Good to see you. Nerd, I get jealous every time I see people that battles without honor and humanity. Yeah, it's a beautiful set. I can't really argue with that. Darren, did I say hey? What's going on? Hey, Tom V, how are you? Winner last week. That's awesome. Look at that. John already got Krampus 4K and Street Fighter. I've not picked up that Street Fighter. I'm not deciding if I'm getting that one yet. I still have the 88 films, but I'm thinking about getting rid of that one. Cinematic Circus. I'm here. My kids have been sick this week. That's not fun. Dealing with I guess they're not really toddlers anymore. Dealing with child vomit is never fun. But I'd rather not talk about that. I'd rather talk about some of this other fun stuff. So how's everybody else doing? Anything crazy that we should bring up before we get super deep into it? Yeah, the bison buck is crazy. I'm so glad that they put that in there. It reminds me of actually, I think I have the other one I was about to reference close. It reminds me of what came in this set. And that's kind of a good segue. If you did not see it on our Tuesday night show, we went over the top 5 4Ks of the year and the top 5 box sets, even though I cheated as usual. And I had a good 10 or 12 4Ks and like 5 or 6 box sets. If you did not see it, go back and check it out. Although I'm thinking I may put out just a separate video, just of me, in case people didn't want to see the whole video with Flip. Yeah, Paul, I'm in the other corner. I'm in the opposite corner instead of the Vinegar Syndrome side. This is more of I've got all my wrong side. I've got all my Severin Vinegar Syndrome pins back here, and then the Arrow collection to the left, and Kino to my right, and Mondo Macabro, bunch of that. Oh, you can see a bunch of the Mondo DVDs that I still need to get room for there. Eric, what's going on? Good to see you. John got Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday, Orbit, and October Mondo Macabro and Kino sale shipping notifications in one day. So basically, probably next Tuesday or Wednesday is going to be Christmas for John. That's awesome. Flickering Waves, what's going on? Good to see you. Cop Shop. I've heard Cop Shop is really good, and I was in basically a raffle yesterday for that Karate Kid set, and I missed it, and I was mad. Now I'm going to have to pay full price for it. Jeff got his 4K player back. Nice. Service was suspect, though. Gave you some runaround. That is not good. I had only ever had good experiences. That's not a good thing. Let me know what happened. Nerd got his shipping notification, too. And yeah, All the Haunts has started shipping, and so has the Nun Bundle, and so has the Severin Black Friday. I'm still shocked that they're doing all of those at the same time. Amazing to me. Yeah. All right. Everybody ready to get into it. Let's go over the last week of announcements. And then, as usual, bunch of pickups. Like I said, tonight is like extra heavy. So if you're not into the pickups, by all means, check out before then. I've got a giveaway to do tonight. Let me cover this. If you're interested, I'm going to be giving away a digital copy of Halloween 2018. That is a Movies Anywhere code. And that'll happen in just a little bit. So let's get into the announcements, huh? Was that Friday? Yeah, last Friday. We got all of the partner label announcements from Vinegar Syndrome, which is just an insane month. This is from Altered Innocence. This is Aribato. Horror movie director Jose is adrift in a sea of doubt and drugs. As his belated second feature nears completion, his reclusive bubble is popped by 2 events: a sudden reappearance from an ex-girlfriend, and a package from past acquaintance Pedro, a reel of Super 8 film, an audio tape, and a door key. From there, the boundaries of time, space, and sexuality are erased as Jose is once more sucked into Pedro's vampiric orbit. Together, they attempt the ultimate hallucinogenic catharsis through a Mobius strip of filming and being filmed. This one is region-free, comes with a commentary and a documentary that is almost an hour long. That's not bad at all. I have only heard good things about this. This is the front of the slip, and here is the back. I'm loving that. The back on this one is really nice looking. Any thoughts on Arabato? Let's see. Mitchell says his Nundle went missing today. That sucks. No subculture. This is shocking to me that they only put out one title all year. I'm hoping that we get at least one or two more from them. I'm kind of thinking Deadlock was like a let's test the waters title, and now that it's sold out, maybe they give us one or two more. Ah, dang. They put it in the wrong box and gave me the wrong key. Had to go to USPS. Yikes. That's rough. Man, I'm sorry about that. All right, so that's Altered Innocence. I did it on the second one. That's ridiculous. One of my new up-and-coming favorite partner labels right now, Gunpowder and Sky. We are getting Her Smell from 2018. This is a big one, obviously, because it features Elizabeth Moss. This has a really punk aesthetic, and I've been wanting to see this. This is the front of the slip, and this is the back. This is a surprisingly good-looking slip. You know what I don't get about this, though? This already had a Blu-ray release. I'm kind of shocked they didn't go 4K on this one. There must be some reason why they couldn't, but yeah, it would have been nice if they did. If you don't know the story on this one, Becky Something is a 90s punk rock superstar who once filled arenas with their grungy all-female trio Something She. Now she plays smaller venues while grappling with motherhood, exhausted bandmates, nervous record company execs, and a new generation of rising talent eager to usurp her stardom. When Becky's chaos and excesses derail a recording session and national tour, she finds herself shunned, isolated, and alone. Forced to get sober, temper her demons, and reckon with the past, she retreats from the spotlight and tries to recapture the creative inspiration that led her band to success. Now, this one had been in my wish list for a long time. I'm glad we're getting a decent one here, but yeah, this is odd to me that we didn't get a 4K. Jeff is talking about 220 still. He says, they had me send the player back, but they didn't replace it. They said they would replace it, but they dragged their feet. I had to call them twice to find out the status. Yikes. Hope they get that fixed for you. With this one, John, Arabato was given a 4K remaster, but it's Blu-ray only. Altered Innocence still has not done a 4K. So I wonder if there's something with that particular label where they're choosing not to do it for some reason. But yeah, if you're going to be doing the restorations at this point, you might as well at least offer. You don't necessarily have to do all of them, but I don't know. Yeah, Her Smell looks and sounds really good. Already had a Blu-ray, but this is another Blu-ray. This has a new audio commentary recorded in 2021, and that will have Elizabeth Moss on it, which is very interesting. It's got an audio commentary with Alex Ross Perry, the director, and new conversation with the director and the cinematographer, new conversation with the director, composer, sound designer, and editor, recorded all in 2021. Never before seen original behind-the-scenes high-8 footage shot by the director. A conversation between Elizabeth Moss and Brandi Carlile recorded at South by Southwest, and then some music videos, album covers created for the film, whole bunch of other stuff, and a 12-page booklet. Not a lot of these releases get booklets, so that's a good thing. Yeah, Jeff, that's crazy. I everything I'd heard of for people that needed replacements even. I'd never heard of anything like that. That's a lot. Video Store, glad to see you here. What's going on? Yeah, Mitchell, Arabato does look interesting. That's one of the ones that definitely piqued my interest. Let's see what else we got here. From Decanalog, this is their second release through Vinegar Syndrome as a partner label. This is Detention. Now, Detention is one that stands out this month as maybe the best looking title, to me at least. This is a video game adaptation. Set during the Taiwanese martial law of the 1960s, this shockingly gruesome and terrifying coming-of-age drama, based on a hugely popular video game, sees two classmates who go looking for their missing friends and teachers, all of whom took part in an illegal book club, only to come face to face with ghosts and deformed monsters that have taken over their school. That sounds freaking incredible. This masterful debut from director and co-writer John Shu recalls the best of Guillermo del Toro with enough blood, striking sound design, art direction, and special effects to evoke Silent Hill and other landmarks of the genre. This is the front of the slip, and then the back is a little on the boring side, but I get the vibe they're going for at least. This is a 2019 film, 102 minutes long. Region A, there's a music video, some featurettes, a couple essays, and English sleeve, inside sleeve artwork. Got English subs, of course. But what do you think? I mean, this one sounds incredible to me. I'm really liking this one. And yeah, cinematic, completely agree. Really stacked disc on her smell, which was, it's a good reason to re-release it at least. King Dingling, good to see you here. 2 shows in a row. In case anyone was hesitating, the transfer for The Damned looked perfectly fine. Watched it today. I had heard the opposite, so that's very interesting. Thanks, Mitchell. I personally actually held out. I had that in my cart and decided not to. And speaking of, I shared with friend of the channel, John Peters, here in chat the other day. For anybody that doesn't know, if you were still looking at some Criterion discs and you didn't get a chance to get them in November, Bull Moose is doing a Criterion 50% off sale for the rest of the calendar year. They will ship anywhere. So even if you don't have one near you, you can order from bullmoose.com and get Criterion shipped to you. 50% off. It's worth it. Yeah, Detention looks great. There are 9 of these, so let's get through all of them. This one is Being Natural from new partner label. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's either Canny or Connie, something like that. This is Takashi Uno. Yota Kawase, Rubber's lover, wants a little more from life than to play the bongo under the starlight. This is from 2018, by the way. When his uncle passes, his freshly divorced cousin inherits their traditional country home and tasks the shy slacker with caring for it. Together with the town's underdog grocer, the 3 revert to a joyful childhood dynamic. Leisurely barbecue, the cheapest beef, and cup noodles. It's all fun and games until a family from Tokyo, led by an unhinged patriarch, screen veteran Kanji Suda, Jew on to the grudge, and his enigmatic wife, Natsuki Mieda, manifest their desire to open a countryside cafe at all costs. This is a film festival winning debut. This, let's see. Oh, I read that wrong. Sorry. A protege of the Yubari International Fantastical Film Festival since his 2017 Grand Prix winning debut, Journey of the Tortoise. He baffles audience expectations at every turn with his mellow yet thoroughly eccentric pastoral comedy about the right to do nothing, Japan's growing urban-rural divide, and the country's ongoing nuclear anxieties. Awesome sounding premise to me. This one looks great. One of the real like slice of life films. This one looks really interesting for sure. I agree with John here. Kind of Criterion-ish. I would even say very Criterion-ish. And to the fact that they are associated with Vinegar Syndrome and the sound of it, they already have 2 other titles that are going to be announced here pretty soon. This is great. And any more Asian cinema that we can get is fantastic. And there's not a lot of modern Asian stuff coming out. So I am very happy that this is getting a release. The slip here is a really interesting choice, but it goes with the film. If you watch the trailer, it very much fits it. And then here's the back. It says, "Return to nature, never eat ramen noodles." This looks great to me. Yeah, really exciting title. And we still have a bunch more partner labels. Another new partner label. This is Big World Pictures announcing one of the most anticipated titles of the month, Rebels of the Neon God. This is from 1992, and a lot of people are shocked that this was able to get a Blu-ray release at all. This is a big deal title. So let's get into a little bit. Here's the front of the slip, by the way, and then the back. It is just a continuation of the smoke. Simon Liang emerged on the world cinema scene in 1992 with his groundbreaking first feature, Rebels of the Neon God. His debut already includes a handful of elements familiar to fans of subsequent work, a deceptively spare style, often branded minimalist. Actor Li Kang-shang is the silent and sullen Shao Kang, copious amounts of water, whether pouring from the sky or bubbling up from a clogged drain, and enough urban anime to ensure that even the subtle humor and evidence is tinged with pathos. The loosely structured plot involves Shao Kang, a despondent cram school student who becomes obsessed with young petty thief Otzi after Otzi smashes the rearview mirror of a taxi driven by Shao Kang's father. Shao Kang stalks Otzi and his buddy Ah Ping as they hang out in the film's iconic arcade, featuring a telling poster of James Dean on the wall and other locales around Taipei, and ultimately takes his revenge. Rebels of the Neon God is a remarkably impressive first film that hints at the promise of its director, a talent confirmed by Shai's equally stunning second feature, Vive l'Amour, and continuing to his most recent film, Stray Dogs, which ranked high on many best-of lists last year. Though showing such diverse influences of the French New Wave, Wong Kar-wai's early films, awesome, and yes, Rebel Without a Cause, Shai's film is most remarkable for introducing his startlingly unique vision to world cinema. This is from 1992. It's a Region A locked Blu-ray. There is selected scene commentary, so it's not a full-length commentary. Has a trailer on it. There is a booklet featuring an essay by Ariel Esteban Cayer and reversible artwork and subs. So not a lot on the disc, but this is a big deal title. Matt's here. What's going on, Matt? Good to see you. Yeah, so if this one is one that you haven't heard of before, I would highly recommend this. If you have not seen it, pull up the trailer. It's on Vinegar Syndrome right now. It is partner labels only month. So any Vinegar Syndrome title you are not able to purchase, but all these partner labels and past partner label titles you can order right now. And for those of you that were 2021 subs and are not renewing for 2022, this is your only time to get these at a discount. So you might want to do that. Somehow we're still not done since there are 9 of these for this month. Coming from Saturn's core, we have Savage Harvest from 1994. This had a pretty iconic VHS, so you may have seen the cover for that before. It looked kind of similar to this, but it did look pretty different. Here's the back of the slip, which I love a lot more than the front. I really wish this was the front. This one is another one of the Saturn's core shot on video or shot on beta, really low budget films. But the big thing on all of these Saturn's core discs, if you have not looked at these, they have some incredible features. So this one has a quarter century since the harvest, a new 2021 retrospective documentary, Hell or High Water, the making of Savage Harvest, an archival documentary from the year of release, an archival commentary with the writer, director, producer Eric Stans and the actor-producer DJ Vivona, plus an archived audio commentary with the associate producer and actors Ramona Midget and Rebecca Kennebeck, plus their behind-the-scenes stills montage, archive of music videos, cinema trailer vault, as usual, reversible art, and subs. All of these Saturn's core discs are loaded with awesome features, and their docs are incredible. They are so good. Jeff says, I've often wondered about select scene commentary. Why? I've noticed that when they do select scene commentary, it's kind of for lesser films. And I'm betting that they just didn't have enough to talk about during those selected scenes. So, you know, maybe they're choosing to save time. Maybe it's a budget thing. Maybe they just weren't available, or maybe that's all they wanted to talk about. That's one that is probably very much on a personal level for all of those releases. Dustin, what's going on? Good to see you. Video store, those of us still waiting for our Black Friday orders to ship, can you add to existing order for these? Unfortunately, no. However, if you are a subscriber in 2021, you can say, add this to my next shipment, and this will ship to you in December, even though there is no actual subscription coming in December. So it is worth it to get that if you are a sub at the moment. Let me see here. What is this? Matt says, is Tina Kraus in this one? I don't think she is. This is John's first Saturn's core. Nice. If you get a chance, the mail order murder, the first one they put out, is actually a really good disc. Really, really good one. Terror Vision. They are putting out their second title through Vinegar Syndrome as a partner label. This is Norway. This is one of the ones that they promised the month that they announced the WNUF Halloween special. And so now I think we have two more that we know are coming from them. But Norway is from 2014, and this one is by Janus Veslemis. And it says, photophobic Zano arrives in the big city for the very first time. The year is 1984, and Athens beckons. A vampire and a fine dancer, Zano quickly gets devoured by the dark underbelly of the capital city. All he really wants is a warm girl. Strung out and down and out, he ends up at a disco Zardoz, a hive of scum and villainy, where he meets Alice, a prostitute, and Peter, a Norwegian drug dealer. Lured into their shady shenanigans, the three of them will traverse mountains and descend into the core of the earth, all the way to the kingdom of Methuselahs. Norway puts on shiny new shoes, dances the night away with colorful scoundrels, and only bites when absolutely necessary. Norway descends upon the Mediterranean. This one is Region A locked and has an interview with the director, a commentary with the director, behind the scenes footage, photo gallery, teaser, trailer, music video, and more. Now, this one, Brad Henderson from Vinegar Syndrome, he did say about this one that he was sold when he first heard about it. I dropped my lid from a water bottle. There it is. And he was first sold because somebody told him that it was a dance movie around vampires or something like that. I can't remember his direct quote, but it sounded hilarious. Let's see. King Dingling wants Norway. That's a good one to go for. Dustin got all of the Asian releases, which surprisingly, there's a lot this month. The title is not great, I agree, but from what I hear, it actually is very, very relevant when you're watching the film because it's very much focusing on the actual country that they're in. And yeah, it's only 73 minutes. That's a big deal nowadays. Thanks, man. Completely agree there. All right, next one, because we are still not done. Why is this taking so long to load? Here we go. Assholes is coming from Circle Collective. This is the slip on the front, and this is the back. And this one has gotten some random controversial statements from people, basically saying that it looks terrible. It actually looked pretty decent to me. From the mind of Peter Vack, we follow the story of Ada and Aaron, two young recovering addicts who meet in their psychoanalyst office, fall in love, relapse on poppers, and become the biggest assholes in New York City. Winner of the first ever Adam Yauch Hornblower Award at South by in 2017, and dubbed by critics as one of the most disgusting movies ever made. A surreal comedic masterpiece, and the cinematic equivalent of getting a face tattoo. The first authentic cult movie of the millennial generation, the goatsy of cinema, the kind of art that many others wouldn't even dare to make, and 74 minutes of insane joy. Assholes is a debaucherous romantic comedy of excess for the asshole in all of us. I love the copy on this one. Really well written. Region A locked again, archived video commentary, which is rare video commentary. New audio commentary with writer-director Peter Vack and actors Betsy Brown and Jack Dunphy. New commentary with Peter Vack and actor Betsy Brown. New interview with Ron Brown and Jane Brown, parents of the writer-director Peter Vack. Child psychology short film. I always love when we get some short films on these. And then the same thing, trailer, art, all that. Under 80 minutes is perfect for an after-work film when I'm waiting for the fiance to get home. Completely agree. I love watching a movie while I wait for your fiance to get. That didn't work. Yes, but short films are always great. And yeah, some people are looking forward to this, as you can see. I can't believe this flick is dropping finally. Somebody commented on here, but others think this looks terrible. So watch the trailer. That's the big thing, is they have trailers, I believe, for all of these, if I'm remembering right. I think they all have trailers available. Oh, here we go. Flickering has seen it. Flickering Wave says, definitely a midnight movie. Saw it as a surprise screening and really enjoyed Assholes. That is an odd sentence you probably never expected to say. Was that the last one? No. Coming from Utopia, who is probably my current favorite partner label. I don't know, man. There are so many different ones. It's hard. This is Moments Like This Never Last. This one, it is sort of appealing to me, but if you watch the trailer, it kind of just looks pretentious. The slip on this one is really an odd choice, but it does make sense for what they're going for. This is the back. This is who the story is about here. Moments Like This Never Last explores the life and legacy of the late artist Dash Snow, who died in 2009 of a heroin overdose in a NoHo hotel room at the age of 27. Growing up in the beautifully fucked up Manhattan before Giuliani and the Broken Window War, before Disney sanitized 42nd Street of prostitutes and pornographers, before Lower Manhattan turned into a shopping mall, chaos came naturally. He reveled in the fraying social fabric of 80s New York and fought capricious authority at home, at the juvie institution he was locked up in, and on the streets. In a jar made of graffiti, trash assemblages, unphotoshoppable Polaroids, cum-stained headlines, collage, and feral rituals archived on Super 8, Dash celebrated creation, destruction, and the marginalized, striking out at the social pasteurization and criminalization of nonconformity happening all around him. Now, if you watch the trailer on this one, which, by the way, the disc on this one only has a Q&A with director Cheryl Dunn, some bonus scenes, and a trailer, it does kind of scream pretension. It's pretty much just a real deep dive into somebody that is kind of an asshole. I mean, just like what we were just talking about with the last film. Maximus, good to see you here tonight. Video Store says Utopia produces their own film, so they should also release The Scary of 61st, which looks incredible. Is that true? Did they produce Shiva Baby as well? Interesting. Really hoping VS revisits AGFA with Hollywood and gives it a slip. The others coming back with slips was a pleasant surprise. It sounds like absolutely they will be. It sounds like we're going to get everything other than Satanis, which is interesting. And I'm hoping that they allow us to buy just the slips because I still have all of that original run. Tom just literally during the stream got a Severin Folklore box ship confirmation months before I thought I'd get that email. Yeah, I completely agree there. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, I've been telling everybody, I think we're going to get those boxes a lot earlier than people are saying. Matt thinks Utopia is awesome. I completely agree. And it depends on the title here, Matt. He says Utopia doesn't have the best features. Shiva Baby had quite a few. They were really good. This is a great question, though. Dave says, do you think we've hit the saturation point of labels and partner labels? I don't think that we have hit the saturation point of partner labels. Or sorry, I don't think we've hit the saturation point of labels. I think we have literally thousands upon maybe millions of movies out there that can be released. I understand that it's a lot. But if you're trying to collect Vinegar Syndrome and all of the partner labels, it's going to be a difficult time. I mean, there are literally 16 different partner labels now, with already more promised coming in 2022, which is crazy. And when they say more for a full year, I guarantee you they're not saying one or two. There's probably going to be at least 3 or 4. So by the end of the year, we're going to have Vinegar Syndrome and all of its sub-labels like VSA, VSP, VSU, Picorama, all of those, plus at least 18 to 20 or more partner labels, which is crazy. I'm not denying that. However, if you've watched the boutique labels that I collect, and so should you, which, by the way, there's another one coming either tomorrow or Saturday, I believe, on my channel, you are going to see that there are literally hundreds of labels out there, and that is okay. There's more than enough place for people to get down to a specific niche. I mean, Altered Innocence is all about LGBTQ films. AGFA is all about archiving like the super weird. If Utopia is just going to be producing movies and they're all going to be very modern or documentary or something like this, that's great. But the big thing is there is choice for everybody. Like I haven't even mentioned possibly the best, highest quality partner label is Fun City Editions, and that's got titles going back decades that are prestige, amazing titles. Let's see. Video source says they didn't produce Shiva, only distributed, but now stepping in the producing game. Good to know. Bloody Nose was fairly lackluster with the features, but they may have been an outlier since COVID happened as soon as it was finished filming. Plus, it was their first title, so they could have just been kind of dipping their toe in. How many labels can the market maintain? I mean, there are labels that can cater to very, very, very niche likes. I mean, we just got news this week that a label that was only focused on spaghetti westerns is shutting their doors at the end of 2021, and they had been together for, I think, like 20 years, 21, 22 years, something like that, and it lasted through, the complete downturn of physical media, through the current rise of physical media, but not enough people were buying spaghetti westerns. So unfortunately, it's gone. Matt says, hard disagree with the saturation idea. Nothing wrong with film preservation. Some of these films would never get this type of love without this partnership. Agreed on that front. Plus, again, you don't have to buy all of them, obviously, and most people shouldn't be buying all of them. Vinegar Syndrome's goal is to find a partner label for everyone. Yes, exactly. You don't have to pick everything. Some things might not match your sensibilities. That is why there's choice. Bingo. I mean, I can't even offhand, like, we have 16 partner labels, but I'm trying to think how many actual releases we have. It's probably around, if you go back to all the ones that were just, released by those labels before they were a partner label too, you're probably looking at 60, off the top of my head, guessing somewhere between 60 to 80 titles. That's not a ton compared to some of these other labels. And yeah, I think that there are films in there for literally every person. You can find something that you would appreciate. John says our budgets might be only so much, but movies on more on physical media, the better. Completely agree there. All right, I think that may be the last one, unless I'm forgetting one. No. Okay, so we also got new merch this month. There is a shirt from Utopia. Really like this design. Then we also got a Yellow Veil Pictures shirt. This is pretty plain. It's just for the label, but hey, whatever. Fun City Editions. I like their logo a bit more. I like that shirt. And then we got an AGFA glow-in-the-dark tote bag. I mean, that screams AGFA for me. I love that. Oh, King Dingling, that would be awesome. I'd really like the Draft House resurrected and move to the partner label. I think that they would do well. And to be honest, they are, if I remember right, I think they were linked to AGFA somehow. I believe AGFA has their headquarters near where the Draft House headquarters are. I think they're both in Texas or something like that. I may be conflating two things in my mind, but yes, very, very, I would love that idea to have Draft House come back. John says he missed it. He was working, by the way. John works late. He missed it, but Assholes looked amazing. It'll be the one I watch first. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it too, even though not everybody is. We also got a tote from Fun City. Gotta love totes. And then Yellow Veil also released this cool hat and a little enamel pin. And then Norway, really, really striking art here. I love this print. They are putting, this is TerraVision, right? Yeah, TerraVision is putting out this limited print for Norway. Last I checked, I think these were still available. There was only, I think, 50 of them that were released, and these kind of don't go super fast unless it's for something that's really wanted. What else did we get that day? Oh, I think that was it from Vinegar Syndrome then. We are getting Stunt Rock from Kino Lorber with a 4K remaster, which means this is most likely just coming on Blu-ray, not on a 4K disc. I did get the Umbrella release of this, and it appears that this is likely going to be the exact same disc. So if you got the Umbrella, you will likely not need this at all. But it is still coming, and that's a good thing. And then another Kino title, we are getting Tarantulas, the Deadly Cargo. That is from 1977, and the big thing is it has Tom Atkins in it. This is not the cover art, by the way. I would be rather upset with that. This is really bad cover art if it was. Let's see. The more partner labels place more value to channels such as yours. If we all just bought the same films, there wouldn't be much to discover or recommend. Completely agree. And yeah, John, the prints are pricey. They're usually like $45. They are quite a lot. I'd also like to see more partner label dividers. Hopefully they don't abandon the viewfinder gimmick. 2 slides isn't cutting it. Completely agreed. I am shocked, absolutely shocked that we didn't get one for Flesh for Frankenstein. I have to think that probably when they licensed the film, they tried, and they were probably turned down on that for some reason. It was shocking that they didn't give away, something to be able to get that released. It would have been perfect for it. Hunter X is here. What's going on? Kino giving away hard target 4Ks, filled out the form without proof of purchase. Yeah, it's crazy. You don't have to prove anything. You just say where you bought it. I think we're going to go over that one in just a second. Speaking of what we just said, from AGFA, grab your bouncy ball and start the bop. Beginning in 2022, we will be reissuing 3 to 4 out-of-print Blu-rays a year with new slipcovers and, in some cases, new content. The only title that won't be reissued is Satanist, The Devil's Mass. Next year, you can look forward to Wicked World from AGFA and Bleeding Skull, Bat Pussy from AGFA and Something Weird, and a brand new standalone edition of Satan's Children from AGFA and Something Weird. So really interesting that some of these are going to be getting more content, which means might be more of a reason to get these. And for those of you that don't have a lot of AGFA so far, most of their discs have bonus films. They're literally double features. Sometimes even more than that. Sometimes they're loaded with short films and other things. And we are also supposed to be expecting a box set from AGFA for the first time this year, I believe. The films of Doris Wishman. Next one. This is a big deal. Coming on February 15th in 4K or Blu-ray, not together in the same package. You can buy 4K or you can buy Blu-ray. 1958's Touch of Evil. This is the 4K slipcover and release. This is the Blu-ray slipcover and release. They have 2 different ones, and this is going to have a brand new Dolby Vision HDR master of the theatrical cut, new audio commentary by Tim Lucas, audio commentary with FX Feeney with subtitles, and then second disc, brand new Dolby Vision HDR master of the reconstructed cut, new commentary by Imogene Sarah Smith, audio commentary by Charlton Heston, Janet Lee with reconstruction producer Rick Schmidlin, and then a featurette and subs. But then, disc number 3, a 4K disc, brand new Dolby Vision HDR master of the preview cut, audio commentary with Orson Welles historians Jonathan Rosenbaum and James Nairmore, plus another featurette. Crazy. The theatrical cut is 96 minutes. The preview cut is 109, and the reconstructed is 111. Now, the big thing with this is these, especially if you buy the 4K release, this is 3 4K discs. 3 4K discs. And this is expensive. If you buy this from Kino right now, if you pre-order it, I think when I looked, it was 45 or 47, something like that. $45 for Touch of Evil 4K from Kino, who I've liked most of their 4Ks, but they are sort of slipping. We're going to talk about Hard Target in just a minute, but that is a lot to invest in one title. Granted, it's an Orson Welles title with Janet Lee and Charlton Heston, so I get it, but that is a lot. I do really dig this art on the 4K slip, though. This is an exciting release. More Orson Welles in 4K, please. Mitchell watched What Really Happened to Baby Jane, the disc, and started the Bloodorama triple feature from AGFA. Nice. Love the driving experience idea on Blood. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, John. We just talked about this the other day, too. I just bought the Kindred from Synapse, so $45 for 3 4Ks is all right. Yeah, that makes sense. I still don't understand Synapse's pricing, but we all pay it and they sell out. So, okay, so here it is. Even though it technically has not been released yet when I posted this, I think it's been released now. Kino Lorber announced a replacement program for the 4K release of Hard Target due to an audio error. If you go to this link that I had in this post, you can put in your information, and they don't ask you for proof of purchase. They just ask you where you bought it. If you bought it from Kino, They send you the replacement disc, no questions asked. But you can just type in like Target and you'll get a 4K disc. This is crazy. Video Store says, I just wish the Kino packaging was better. They don't seem overly excited by 4K like other labels. To a point, I agree, but at the same time, like, they're going on sale for $16 as a boutique 4K. That's not awful. Hunter, I purchased it as well. You're good. I completely understand that. And Tom, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yes, there have been a lot of replacement programs, but that's not terrible. We are getting the proper product eventually. They are getting it right. QC is sort of lacking right now. I guarantee you one of the main reasons, though, is because of COVID. People are not, 5 in an office together, checking things on different TVs, on different players at the same time. As long as they fix it, I'm good with that. But the bigger thing, and Kino has had a problem with this before, as long as they admit it and then they work through it. That's the big thing. Kino had a replacement for the Alfredo Garcia release, and they straight told people, nope, it is the proper remaster. There's nothing wrong with it. When in all reality, they were given a dated remaster that wasn't even the new remaster that they promised to people. And they tried to say, we are not going to replace anything, but the community put pressure on them, and they eventually fixed it. So as long as it gets acknowledged and fixed, I'm fine with that. And a lot of people lately have been, complaining about Shout Factory, complaining about Arrow, and now the punching bag is Kino. I mean, they're fixing it. They're eating some money to fix it, but they're doing it. So, yeah, it could be a lot worse, Tom. I don't get it. And yes, the Kino packaging, it is their brand to be the same. So I'm going to pick, these are 4 titles in alphabetical order here. At random, they all look identical. Black with that title there on the side. And yeah, it's all the same. I am digging that they're putting more slipcovers on things. They're finding that people like those. So yeah, they're going for it. I will take the Kino approach over the Criterion. Break your current disc any day. Fully agree. And this is what I don't get. Kino sells stuff so cheap during their sales. How do they stay in business? And they release so many. Every single week when we go over these announcements, Kino has the most by far. I don't even think we're done talking about Kino during this week yet. Here's one that's not Kino. One of the Lionsgate titles, coming with one of those really nice plastic slipcovers from Best Buy. This is The Punisher, the one from 2004 with Thomas Jane. This is already ready to order on Best Buy if you're interested. This is coming January 25th, just a few days before my birthday. This one looks really nice. And it is a 4K disc, by the way. Don't think I said that. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Here's more Kino. Jeff says, you mentioned Alfredo Garcia from Kino. How is the Arrow edition? Exactly the same. The Arrow remaster is the one that was supposed to be on the Kino disc, and they gave the old master from like 20. I think that original one was from 2012, and the Arrow one was from 2017. So yeah, it was a very obvious difference. The Arrow one is just as good as the new, and it came like 3.5-4 years ago. Video Store says, I'm still waiting for a replacement program for my sense of humor. It's terrible. That was pretty good. King Dingaling does not mind the spines being the same. First Power has the sore thumb edition as it doesn't match the remainder of titles. First Power. How is it different? I forgot. Final option here. This is coming on February 15th with like 7 other Kino titles. Thankfully, this is coming with a whole bunch of features, which Kino used to not do any. And this is great. We get an audio commentary by the director and producer, moderated by film producer Jonathan Southcott. Last of the Gentlemen producers, the life and works of Ewan Lloyd, a 2004 documentary that is almost 40 minutes long. And then we get 2 theatrical trailers, optional subs, and a pretty decent looking slipcover. This one looks pretty good. For those that have not seen it, this was also known as Who Dares Wins. It's a slam bang counterterrorism thriller written by Reginald Rose, who also did 12 Angry Men, directed by In Sharp, and co starring Richard Widmark, Edward Woodward, Ingrid Pitt, and Robert Webber. Yet another Kino. In their wonderful Forbidden Fruit, The Golden Age of Exploitation Pictures line, this is volume 13 that comes with Damaged Lives and Damaged Goods. These are from 1933 and 1937. Super old on these. Oh, that's right, King Dingling. It was the Twilight Time Master for Bring Me the Head that they put on the new one, which is, I get it, because the studio gave the master to Kino, because Kino does, they rarely do their own restorations in house. Some of these 4Ks they're doing them, but Alfredo Garcia was not one of them. So they just put what they were given and they said, no, it's the right one. And all of the fans and people that pay attention to those sorts of things, they said, no, that's not right. Hunter X says 1989 Dolph Lundgren is my favorite Punisher. How do we? I don't believe we have a release of that yet, right? How do we not? Yes, several Kinos don't even have subtitles, and that's pretty much everything before like 2018 was that way. Ridiculous. Dave says never seen any Best Buy or Walmart special edition steals here in Toronto. I don't think Lionsgate is selling any of the Lionsgate steelbooks in Canada, and that's the big problem. I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense. This is one I would agree with. John Bernthal is the one true Punisher. He is great. And it seems that they might be bringing Charlie Cox to the MCU, so maybe John Bernthal is in the cards coming soon. They have really taken off the past 2 to 3 years completely. Let's see. Mitchell says he pre-ordered the Twilight reprint 7 Death and a Cat's Eye. Has anyone seen it? I almost got this morning from Cinema Classics. For those of you that don't know, Cinema Classics, and their website, I believe, is just cinemaclassics.com. They have a pretty decent site ran by one guy that's in a bunch of the Facebook groups that a bunch of us are in. They are a very small company that they get a lot of their MVD titles in super early. As of tomorrow morning, they will have Shawscope in stock. So if you were wanting it super early, you can go to cinemaclassics.com and order from him. The guy who runs it, his name is Robert. He packages everything great. He will get it to you quickly. The only thing I will say is sometimes they're like $2 or $3 more than other places, but you get your stuff as soon as it's in his hand, and it is definitely worth it. And Mitchell, I agree with you here. I watch everything with subtitles, and it's genuinely disappointing when I turn something on and there's no subs there. Like I said, I almost bought 7 Deaths. It does look really good. And I got to admit, Venom looks really good too. The other one that Twilight Time is coming back with. And I think we've talked about this before. I genuinely always hated Twilight Time. I am not a big fan of the limited edition release schedule that some labels do. Like, I'd rather companies do something like Criterion, where this is available the entire time this is in license, instead of something like Vinegar Syndrome, where that slip will go away quickly sometimes. I would much rather have it there for a long time, but Twilight Time was even worse. 3,000 releases for that title, and then it's gone forever. That is a lot for people to be able to monitor and buy and stuff like that. Yeah, Matt says $2 to $3 is more for some titles is fine if you're getting it 3 weeks before you would from another retailer, and sometimes it's even more. Like Kino titles, he has had Kino titles in stock 6 weeks before the release date, which is crazy. I don't understand how MVD does that. They put out so many films. And for those of you that don't know, MVD is not, just the company MVD Rewind or the Marquee Collection or anything. MVD is the distributor for a whole bunch of these labels. So they do Arrow, they do Kino, they do Severin now, they do Unearthed Films, and definitely 1 or 2 more. I think they do Dread Pictures as well. It's hard to stay up on all of them because there are so many. This morning, we got the new releases coming from Indicator in March. And I got to admit, this whole month sounds really good. So these are all coming on March 21st in the UK, March 22nd in the US. This is 1933's La Llorona. Based on the Hispanic folk legend that has inspired many subsequent chillers, La Llorona remains the finest screen interpretation of the disturbing tale of the Weeping Woman. Newly restored from rare surviving film materials, this genre film delight makes its worldwide debut on Blu-ray. And all of these always have lots of special features, but we won't find out about them until probably like January, near the end of January. King Dingling says, I actually was really close with Twilight Time. There's a reason why they were doing stuff like that. I'll have to PM you the reasons behind their madness. I'm sure there's lots of reasons. Just as a consumer, I didn't love it. Yes, Matt. MVD is also who Orbit gets their stuff from super quick. And yes, Master Chaos did write a movie about La Llorona, and it is going to theaters very, very soon. Looks decent. The next one coming from Indicator, this might be the one that, or no, not this one. It's the next one. Coming same dates as well. This is from 1933. Lovingly restored as part of the Film Foundation's World Cinema Project and also making its worldwide Blu-ray debut, The Phantom of the Monastery, also known as El Fantasma del Convento, is the perfect complement to La Llorona's chills, featuring, as it does, the undead, a book of blood, and insanity. And then from Bud Bedecker, this is A Time for Dying from 1969. The great director's final foray into the Western. This elegiac look at the Old West and its violence prefigures Don Siegel's classic, The Shootist. Beset by production and distribution issues, this powerful film reaches Blu-ray again for the first time anywhere in the world in a glowing new restoration by Indicator and Powerhouse Films. But the fourth one this month is the one I'm super excited for. We get one of their big box releases like they did for, let's see, my favorite one that they did this year. I'm sure a lot of you would be able to call that out, is Irreversible. I love the way they do these. It's got the film, it's got a book, it's got, I think this one, yep, has a poster as well. This is taking the Western to Australia. Philip Mora's Mad Dog Morgan from 1976 tells the true story of infamous bushranger and outlaw Dan Morgan. Released on the same day as I previously said, this Ozploitation classic features a wild-eyed performance from the legendary Dennis Hopper and is presented in a brand new restoration by Powerhouse Films, along with extensive bonus content, a poster, and an 80-page book. That is awesome. John says, got to hand it to Indicator. These first 3 months of releases, he means in the US, since they are coming here starting in January, are pretty unique, rare, and interesting. Completely agreed. And we are getting all kinds of good stuff. Mitchell wants Devil's Men, aka Land of the Minotaur. I have heard of that one. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, that would be nice. And I agree, Matt. I clicked the wrong comment. This would, to me at least, be one of Indicator's best months of all titles in quite some time. It's always lovingly restored, but where are the films they hate bringing back to life? With Indicator, I don't think they put them out. I genuinely do think that all of the titles Indicator has put out, I do think that they genuinely love those films. Hunter says, I love Indicator. Wish they had better licenses. I only like a handful of releases in their library. That, to me, that sounds kind of crazy. They have done a lot of classics. I mean, from road games, all of their box sets, obviously, their box sets are amazing. Their Jack Nicholson titles, their Bronson titles. They even did Vampires from Carpenter. Maximus says, how have I never heard of Mad Dog Morgan? If you haven't and you want to get this one, by all means get it. But Umbrella also put it out. This is a pretty big title. Code Red handles the films that they hate bringing back to life. Classic is quite a stretch, really. I wouldn't say that. I think it's pretty classic. It's definitely got a reputation with it. It's really well known. The bigger thing though is it's Hopper. That's a big name for sure. All right. And the last one for the week that we've had officially announced this week is Murphy's Law, another Bronson title coming from Kino Lorber. And as usual, all these Bronson titles, this one has a slipcover. Looks decent. It's not a wonderful designed slip, but it looks good. This one will have an audio commentary by actress Kathleen Wilhoit and film historian Nick Redman. This has Lyons Law, The Canon Years, 2021 interview with actor Robert F. Lyons. It's almost 20 minutes long. Got some radio spots, a trailer, subs as usual. That's good. Yeah, this is a decent film. And if you don't know, this has J. Lee Thompson. This is also has Kathleen Wilhoit, Robert F. Lyons, Angel Tompkins, Richard Romanus, and Lawrence Tierney. He is from Reservoir Dogs. Let's see. How does everyone have their items displayed, alphabetically, genre, or label? That is a very personal question for a lot of people I've found over the years. I personally, if it's a boutique label, I've got it in alphabetical order by boutique, and then within that boutique, they are in alphabetical order unless they number their spines. Then it's in spine order. Erotic Nights of the Living Dead was DOA. That I have never put it in because I've always heard that. Bronson is very hit or miss for me. There's a handful of titles that are decent. Lots of people saying spine number and alphabetizing. King Dingling says rip Nick Redman. Let's see. I see Mad Dog Morgan as the recently passed David Gulpil rip. And I am hoping Indicator releases some of the imprint titles like The Straight Story, A Place in the Sun, and No Way to Treat a Lady in the UK. I don't know that they have put out many Paramount releases. That would be a good question. I've not paid attention to that too much. I know that Indicator has been very close with Sony lately, and then they had some that were, I believe, Universal, and obviously they got their Hammer. But yeah, like all the Columbia Noir, those are through Sony. They've done a lot of Sony. Sardis is here. What's going on? Nerd says everywhere at the moment. We plan to move into a bigger place, and Sardis just adds it to the watch stack. Sardis was telling us on the Tuesday show that he watches so many films, and I'm very jealous. Bronson was an underrated actor, but he fell into the same roles after Death Wish. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Can you buy Indicator in Canada? Absolutely. They do ship internationally if you're going to buy from the UK, but also the new US releases that are going to be region A, or they're actually probably all going to be region free if they're going to be released in both. You can get them off of Amazon US, and I would not be, they should be on Amazon Canada as well. Cauldron Films kind of announced a new title. They did say that one was coming. It's not the official press release. I tend to only share the official press releases, as there are a few people from these labels that have told me they don't like to get announcements come out unless they are prepared announcements. So I tend to hold tight even when they confirm that they're working on a title. But Cauldron Films is putting out a brand new title, which is kind of big. That goes against most of what they've put out so far. It's an interesting one. Marvels are separate from DC. So are mine. Mine are up on the wall. All right. How about we give away this Halloween 2018 Will Crick, and then we'll get into some pickups. If you are wanting Halloween 2018, go to universalredeem.com. Universalredeem.com. And I'm going to put the code in the chat here. And if you use it, please let me know that you used it so that I can straight put this on the trash. Jeff says, is Indicator going to make their whole catalog available in the States? No, I guarantee you that they are not, because there are quite a few titles that they had put out that are already out on other labels here. They simply could not do that. It would be, gosh, legally, that would be a nightmare. I imagine it would be a problem for sure. Make sure this is correct. Universalredeem.com if you want this. All right, here comes the code. Take it and put it in there and enjoy. This is for Movies Anywhere. Let me know if you redeemed it. Hunter, this used to be true. Most of Indicator's library is region free. That used to be the case until they started putting out Sony titles. Most of the Sony titles have been locked region B, unfortunately. So that definitely used to be the case. All right. I guess I didn't go over what is coming out next week, which I don't know. Does everybody look forward to that? I know that's one that we've not looked too much into. That digital is for Halloween 2018, Matt. I don't know if people actually enjoy looking forward to what's coming out next week. Do you find that useful? I will pull up the release calendar anyways on Blu-ray.com. Come on. Let's see. Next week is the 14th. All right. Some of these titles I know a lot of you actually already have in hand. Okay. That code is toast by now. All right. That was quick. That was very quick. All right. Sharing Blu-ray.com's release for next week. We have an ad. God, I hate how they add these ads here. This is awful. Next week, The Wolf of Wall Street in 4K. We are getting the standard and this. This is a wide released 4K steelbook. Damn ad. Venom, Let There Be Carnage in 4K. No, thank you. The Red Shoes in 4K. Obviously a big title there. We're going to skip over The Last Duel. The Kindred. This is the one that's coming out finally. Snake Girl and the Silver-Haired Witch. This one technically got delayed, although a lot of us have had this for quite some time. Let's see. 100 got the code. Nice, thanks. Appreciate that. Now I know I can get rid of it. Upcoming releases help. All right, cool. We'll go into it. So the digital downloads, can you actually download them as a file? I believe you can, just so that you can download them and watch on the go. What are your thoughts of Karate Kid not including the fourth film in the box? As long as they don't advertise it, it's not awful to me. Really, there's only, I mean, the first three are the most meaningful. I wish it was in there, obviously. Mitchell just got Snake Girl. Nice. Whatever happened to Scorsese saying that there's a director's cut he wanted released? That is a great question. I do remember hearing about that. One big one, if you have not seen it yet, I highly suggest looking at the Mitchells versus the Machines. This is going on my year-end list. I'm probably going to do a year-end what I watched this year video for here. And the Mitchells versus the Machines was one of my most enjoyable brand new movie watches this year. And you guys know I love animation. We're going to be going over one of those at least tonight. And that movie is really incredible. Probably second in animation-wise quality just to Into the Spider-Verse today. And it is great. So funny. Let's see. Sardis just got pickpocketed after waiting for 3 months. Yeesh. Oh, Chris got and watched Onyx. What'd you think? All right. So next week, we are getting Revenge of the Shogun Woman in 3D. I got that one from Cinema Classics and got that early about, oh gosh, I want to say 2.5 weeks ago, something like that. The Folklore trilogy from Shout Factory, that's out this next week. My Stepmother's an Alien with Dan Aykroyd from Arrow, that's out next week. Jack Frost 2 is out next week. Ivanhoe from Warner Archive. The Card Counter, lots of people have been looking forward to that one, obviously. Film Noir 5, I've got this one on the way to me right now. Nasty Habits, of course, that's coming out. MVD Rewind, Jack Frost 2 and Jack Frost are both next week. Damnation is out next week. Abbott and Costello Show, this is the season 1 release. Disciples of Shaolin, a lot of people have that in hand already, but that one is technically releasing next week. Going Berserk from Shout Select, which I have not seen yet, but everybody's saying that it's awful. I'm really curious about that one. How hardcore are those films? From what I hear, 1 out of the 4 is pretty hardcore, and the other 3 are just semi-sleazy. If anybody knows more in depth than that, by all means, please let Matt know. Ox needs an upgrade from Blue Underground. It is still in print until the end of the year from Cult Epics. Yeah, I don't see Blue Underground getting that, unfortunately. Or wait, are you thinking of a different title? Yeah, I don't know of a Blue Underground with that same title. Speaking of Cult Epics, the Sylvia Crystal 1970s collection is out next week. And then, of course, Kino always has titles coming out. They're putting out the 4 seasons with Alan Alda and Carol Burnett next week. Butch Camp from Dark Force, no thanks. Donnie Darko 4K Standard Edition will be out next week. The Seduction of Joe Tynan will be out. And from, I believe this is, Film, what is it, Film Detective, right? The Fabulous Dorseys from 1947, that's a good one. Ludwig Standard Edition from Arrow will finally be released. One that a lot of people have been waiting on, Premutos from Unearthed. This is coming out. This is from 1997. And for those that don't know, supposedly has one of the craziest scenes of gore in any of these releases. Yes, I will click on the Sylvia Crystal box. So this is from 1974 to 78, has 4 films in it, and those are right here. We've got Julia from 1974, Playing with Fire from 1975, Pastoral from 1978, and then Mysteries from 1978. And it's got, let's see, Wilm Verstappen, Paul de Lucenet, Siggy Rothman, and Elaine Robe-Grillet are the directors on those 4. But full 4-disc set, Region A that we know of at the moment. Nobody has tested if that anywhere else. All right. And that price should go down at least a little bit. 80 seems very high for that. Flip would be remiss if I did not mention that Sword of Desperation is coming out. And Force of Fear, this is one I'll highlight a little bit. That's from Scream Team releasing a really good, fairly indie horror label. I did talk about them in one of my movie labels I collect, and so should you video. They are putting out a standard of Force to Fear and of Loon next week. Those are going to be available on Amazon and are pretty decent. Language Lessons is one I've wanted. That one's coming out from Shout Factory. That has Mark Duplass, and I never remember her. I think her name's Natalie Morales. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good. And then Years of Lead is getting a standard release next week. All right. That is all of them, I believe. This is a great question. How many times is Dead Pit getting released? Too many. Let's see. Chris says, oof, what a heavy movie. Feels like something that would have gotten a Criterion DVD release, sort of in the same vein as Man Bites Dog. Very, very similar. And I actually watched Man Bites Dog and Onks for the first time this year. Would completely agree with that. Very, very good comparison there. Anyone here want to sell me the slipcover for Bridge on the River Kwai UHD for... Let him know. All right, some pickups, and then I will break into Vinegar Syndrome since that's all pickups. But I'm going to back up my chair here and probably back this up. Jeff, Years of Lead was not one of my box set picks the other day, but that's not because it's not great. I just have not gotten enough time with it yet. It is one that I hope to get more time with, and I would see that being able to come up there. But yeah, it was not one of my picks yet. I actually have all of my picks within arm's reach still. Okay, some quick pickups. I'm going to go through some of these really quick. Malignant, had to have this. I definitely want to see this again. Streamed it, obviously, but yeah, got to see it on disc. This one has been one of my most anticipated titles for a while. This played at a local festival here in Kansas City, and a few people I know raved about it. And I've wanted to see Werewolves Within for quite some time. Just came in, got to watch this, and I love Milana Weintraub. I finally got Yokai Monsters from Arrow. That's been talked about to death, so definitely want to see. What do you mean, You Malignant? It's a good film. Cinematic Vengeance from Eureka got this one in. This was described by Flip on our show on Tuesday as like the Al Adamson box set of Hong Kong cinema. Speaking of Umbrella, just spoke about them a few minutes ago about Mad Dog Morgan. This is Undead. They just put this out, and this is a really unique film. If you've never seen Undead, it's surprisingly good. Orbit has had this, and yeah, absolutely should look into that one. The next MVD Rewind, Final Justice. I love the way they did this cover. I don't know why. I always like when they do these special faded covers. The guy that's in charge, I think his name's Eric of MVD Rewind. He designs these himself usually. This one looks faded, like it's sun faded. It's got the Be Kind Rewind sticker. It's got the Adventure sticker. And then it still has the classic, the numbering on the side. And they've got like, there's an R rating sticker there going across the spine. That's the best part. And then the back is a little more up to date and has all the info on the back. Really nice. The Great Silence from Eureka. Had to get this one. This one is a classic. If you haven't seen it, definitely need to. I don't know why I bought this. As Flip said the other night on our show, this movie is trash. I do remember liking it, though. This is Jet Li's The One. This came out, what year is this? Like 2001, right? I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah, 2001. Yeah, so this was like peak high school viewing for me. This is an interesting one. It's not great. I have really wanted for a long time to be able to see all of the video nasties, and one of the ones that I've never seen is Night of the Bloody Apes, and VCI just put this out, and I don't like VCI, but this seems to be a really good release of this, so I had to take a look at it. Dave says he just watched Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage the other night, batshit crazy, and I loved it. Willy's Wonderland is wild. They made some choices for that film. All right. I still have a handful of other things before we get to Vinegar Syndrome somehow. Let's see. King Dingling, yeah, if you liked Werewolf Within, you should check out the Josh Rubin earlier film that was Shudder release, Scare Me. Really enjoy it. I think I just got that in recently as well. Maybe I didn't. Does Scare Me have a Blu-ray release yet? Yeah, Tom, completely agree here. If you don't have Severance docs on the Video Nasties, you absolutely should get them. But yes, they are DVD only. And if you do get them, and if you're like most people, you get them at the same time on sale or something, make sure you open them because for those of you that don't know, there was a while that they were shipping them and both had the same disc in them. So you got to pay attention to that. Scare Me did get a release. Okay, I could have swore I had it. Maybe I don't yet. Okay, kind of an exciting one. Somebody that I followed in the entertainment world for some time is a person named Clark Collis. Clark Collis has been on a bunch of podcasts that I listen to, and I've always just loved the commentary that Clark gives, and found out that Clark was putting out a book that really aligned with a lot of my interests, and that is You've Got Red on You, How Shaun of the Dead Was Brought to Life. This is the limited edition first release of this book, and it is beautiful. First of all, it's got this really red tinged edge of this. And by the way, I got this from Orbit. They got these in, and they were very cheap. This thing is incredibly long. First of all, it is exhaustive, and I've heard that it's amazing. But it is, let me see, 408 pages long. And it is just really well put together. There are a few pages with photos in the middle of it, and that are only photos, but they've got some photos scattered throughout. Really well done. It's got a built-in bookmark, and it's just a really nice set. And this was only like 18 or 19 at Orbit. Absolutely worth it for 400 pages of a really great genre-bending zombie genre re-emerging film like Shaun of the Dead was. That is You've Got Red on You. Before Vinegar Syndrome, I did get another box in from Canada. This is what I got in from Gold Ninja releasing as part of their Indiegogo that I was talking about on here a while ago. And I got in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 releases. I did get some more, but the second one has not shipped yet. This is Don't Let the River Beast Get You. This, for those that don't know, I'm going to do a little primer on Gold Ninja again. Gold Ninja puts out mostly public domain films, and they get whatever elements they can. They put them on Blu-ray, but then they make brand new special features and talk about their impact. Like, this has 3 commentary tracks, interviews with people from the film, behind the scenes, bloopers, short films, and more. And then there's an unreleased till now feature film, Druids Everywhere. These are really well put together releases. And if you saw my bootleg video, you'll see this is a burned disc. But Justin Decloux was on this very channel, and he was going on about how he uses the absolute highest quality burned disc, and they will last a very long time. These are not bootlegs. These are official releases, but Justin puts these together himself because this one only got 500 copies made. So if you are looking into these, Gold Ninja Video is great. Now that I've done the primer, I'm going to go through the rest of these real quick. This is Kung Fu Wonder Child. This is one I've wanted to see for quite some time. Then we have Killer Queen. This one is number 58 of 500. And then Personal Space Invader Ultimate Edition. And then this is not the limited edition. Through their Indiegogo, they put out some of their old titles that were sold out. This is Strangler on the Swamp, and you can see here contributor exclusive. So this one is not numbered. Then pretty much the main reason I did this entire purchase here, I really wanted Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. Sardis, would I add the link to them in the comment page? Of course. Gold Ninja. See if I can find their website real quick. Okay. Matt says he just finally opened his Video Nasty Sets and he's good. That's great. And yes, the Indiegogo that they did was a huge success. They were actually able to purchase a film scanner, and they're looking to maybe be doing scans for a bunch of releases here coming up soon. The last one I got on here is, I completely forgot I got this one, Kung Fu Zombie. This one has commentary with Justin Decloux and Always Asian film programmer Brandon Lim. Beware the Black Magic Hopping Vampire Cat, a Hong Kong horror trailer reel that's 90 minutes long. Punch a Ghost, a beginner's guide to Hong Kong horror, that's 3 minutes. And then a bonus feature, Kung Fu Beyond the Grave, that's an hour and a half long. And then on top of that, if you have not seen any of these releases from Gold Ninja before, there is always something hidden on these discs. A lot of the time, it is a full-length film. So Gold Ninja Video, highly recommend. They are an incredible company, just a little lowly, up-and-coming kind of label from Toronto, and they are making a name for themselves, and I love it. And let's see. Nerd, since he is talking here, he says, holy shit. I believe he just got this in as well. This is an interesting thing that happened from, who did this? Is it the Film Detective? Film Movement? I always get those two mixed up. They put out the Sherlock set, and we got this in the mail. What's crazy, though, the box set itself is not in here. So let me open this up and show you what came with this. I did not get a pipe. I don't know if that's everybody is getting it with this box, but if so, I did not get one, sadly. For those that don't know, there was a random giveaway that they were going to give away 3 genuine pipes with this release. Their card that they had on top here, it says, are you looking for your box set? It is shipping separately, but will arrive to you soon. For your efforts, we're giving you a free 1-year subscription to the Film Detective. Find your code on the back of this card. Pretty cool. What's going on, Flex? Ordered the Thrilling Bloody Sword and Kung Fu Wonder Child, but the $10 shipping hurts. Keep in mind, they're shipping from Canada, and it literally is one person. So, yeah, I give them the benefit of the doubt. It is worth it, absolutely. Justin puts all of his love into this. nerd, I guess I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. They did send a Sherlock Holmes 13-month calendar. This is surprisingly nice. Like, this is a good one. They got a shot from one of the Sherlock films there, and then the entire month below with all kinds of Sherlock design ideas on there. And then this is the Sherlock Film Vault Collection magnet. This whole thing is a magnet, nice and big. And then this, I believe, their little confetti is getting everywhere. Yeah, it came with a Sherlock little journal for you. And then, man, this confetti is everywhere. Little Sherlock Films tote bag. 221 Baker Street. Yeah, there's all kinds of great stuff in here. This is a really nice set, and it was surprisingly cheap for everything you get. Let me get all this back in here for now. King Dingling says, I gave Justin a few leads on titles. He said he was reaching out to the creators personal. He seemed very pumped. Awesome. Yeah, if you are looking for a good follow on YouTube or social media at all, Justin DeClue is great, super knowledgeable. He's got, I think, multiple podcasts that he's in every single week. He does really good reviews on YouTube. He just proposed to his now fiance, and they put out an edited video of him proposing. It was great. Okay, next one. Black Friday was just happening for us, and if you recognize this company, I was pumped that they announced something that was coming out, and I already have it somehow. That is the Muppets Christmas Carol on vinyl. This thing, gotta love all the glare when you're trying to do good lighting. This thing is awesome. It has the big deal, obviously, is it's got the When Love Is Gone, When Love Is Found, the missing title that is on here now. Here is the back of it. The art on this is just incredible. I can't wait to open that one up. From Waxwork, I have not opened this yet. I do know one thing that's in here, but it feels very thick. Matt says, did that vinyl sell out? Yes, both editions of the Muppet release, it sold out pretty damn quickly, like within a couple hours. Ooh, Dustin got a copy too. Nice. Man, this is thick. All right, let's pull this out of here. Video store, me too. I wish I could too. I got lucky, and last year was a really good year for me. And yeah, a lot of this stuff is really, really pre-ordered ahead of time, unfortunately. So it's not like I'm just dropping tons of money all the time. This, in fact, this was paid for a year ago, and I'm just now opening it. That's because I'm a subscriber for 2021 for Waxwork Records, hence me having a shirt. This is Bloodsport on vinyl. I believe this is either the first time. Yeah, complete score available for the first time on vinyl. This is the subscriber exclusive variant of this. Here is the art on the back. Gotta love that. Waxwork Records is so good. This is number 119 in their catalog. Muppets, stay up. And then there was something else in here. Let's see. They've got their sleeve for their records, but then they also sent, as part of the sub package, this Waxwork Records. I think this is another tote bag. This is crazy. What's funny is I know there's at least one more tote bag, I believe, in the Vinegar Syndrome package. Oops, there are so many tote bags this week. Oh, well, at least I genuinely use tote bags to carry stuff around. All right. What next? I think I'm just about ready for Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, I'm not going to open that one on camera. Okay. Vinegar Syndrome. We ready? Let me back this up a little further. Okay. I have genuinely, oh my God, not even looked at these yet. I had to get a film canister. I always regretted not getting one before, so I had to this time. And let me see, they've got my address label on here. Let's see if I can peel that off. And this says, oh, this is a command video title, which means this probably carried porn. This says to Fox Chase Cinema, and let's see. Let me see if I can hold this up. That says, it looks like it probably says Playgirls of Munich. If there was a word behind that card, I would imagine it's probably of. This is the first can. And let me get some of this tape off of here. Few people have been posting items getting crushed in shipping. Well, I will definitely be paying attention to that. Let me see if I can get all of these other little labels off of here. All right. I will get the rest of them afterwards. Opens up with this little latch in the front here. Genuine hinge squeaks there. All right, whole bunch of extra paper in the top, thankfully, so that stuff could not move around. It's a little dusty. Okay, I am. Shoot, I'll just hold it right here and get some of this trash out of the way. All right, one by one we go. First item. I love tote bags. Who else just agreed with me? Let's see. Someone else just said this. Here it is. Chris says, I love a good tote bag. Gotta love that. And the post office thinks I'm a perv. I hope so. Which one is this? I love this. This is from Altered Innocence, an Anus Films tote bag. Oh, I love it. Look at those in just a moment. Some more of this paper out of here. All right, I'm going to stack everything up so I can not dent things myself as we are going through it. Oh, love the coloring on steel and lace already. Ooh, starting to tip. All right, everything else in there is just paper. Closing this thing up. Oh my gosh. Oh man. What a wild latch system. You gotta close this thing just right. Jeez. Okay, I will mess with that later. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. King Dingling says, love that noise. Used to work at a theater back in the 90s as a projectionist. First and favorite job. That's awesome. Oh, awesome. Matt says, yes to Playgirls of Munich, released in 77. I feel like that'll be a Peakorama title next year, maybe. Huh, maybe. I am the guy that bought those. The guys that were buying the plastic displays were getting hugely flamed on Facebook groups. I don't agree with that necessarily. You'll see why. I actually have one. And there's a few reasons. One, because it's going to make a really good thing for this channel. And then on top of that, I've got everything released by Vinegar Syndrome so far. So let me get rid of this. First title out of this one is Steel and Lace. This slip looks beautiful. Love the colors on this thing. And this, like I said, if you watched my video, I think this might be the out of nowhere home run title from this sale. Then we have Keep an Eye Out. This is from Quentin Depew. This is from Decanalog. This is, as you can see here, Decanalog number 1. This is their very first title, and everything I've heard about this is that it is incredible. This is one I will be watching soon. Hilarious inside art there. And then we just talked about Saturn's core. Here is Sorority Slaughter. Very famous back cover there. Chris, it'll come, I promise. I'm a sub. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Again, if you watch my videos, you'll know how I felt about this one. Don't answer the phone. This was my... I like the art the most on this release, on the new catalog slipcover. That looks so good. Really well done. Here is the one for Graduation Day. That is very reflective on the blood there. Love it. And then the back is very reflective as well. Really well done on this. And then the other catalog slip is Frightmare. Frightmare. Let's see. Eric got shipment notification for one item on Tuesday from Colorado. Still waiting on the rest. Nice. I agree, Antoine. Quentin Depew is amazing. Rubber is... That's one that I had to show a lot of people back in the day. Oh, look at that. King Dingling mentioned it here, too. He directed one of my favorites, Rubber. It's great. Finally, in my hand, I have New York Ninja. Everybody else got this and had the majesty of it way before I did. I said to include it in my next sub order, which unfortunately was not till now. But damn. These are ridiculously high quality. Here's the inside of the box. And then, of course, we have the slip on New York Ninja and the book. Here is A Tale of Two Ninjas. Let me make sure I get this all back in here. One thing I don't love, this is VSP-01, as you can see on the side here. And we also got VSP-02 from Sensor, but it didn't get the same packaging. I don't understand how you're going to have a line with not the same packaging. Very, very curious. Matt, I do believe it is limited, but I don't think they are saying the number yet, so it's probably going to be very, very high. Whew, don't fall. Okay, this is all of the Black Friday titles in this one. See you, nerd. Enjoy the movie. Glad you were here tonight. All right. From Dario Argento, here is Trauma. Gotta love that front cover. But then this, I dig the back of that. And then the inside has the same art on the front. And then lots of features on this one, too. My most anticipated from this entire group, Ebola Syndrome in 4K Ultra HD. That was really well done, I gotta admit. I like that I was able to pull that up just that high. Here's the back with Anthony Wong. Can't wait to see that in glorious 4K. That's a really fun one. Here is Creature. You see the reflection on the claws and the eyes there. And then here is the back. It's been sleeping peacefully on a moon of Saturn for 2,000 centuries until now. And here is one of the more well-known covers for that one. And of course, the big boy. We have Flesh for Frankenstein in 3D and 4K. Now, one of the things that people are complaining about today, because it's the internet, so everybody has to complain, there is no title on the spine of this one. Although it's really obvious what this is by the stitches. And by the way, these are ever so slightly embossed, so you can actually feel them raised. But on the side, we've got a pull-out slip case here for these with two different slips. We have the 3D slipcover, Frankenstein 3D with the reflective coloring. And here is the inside of that one. And then this one is Flesh for Frankenstein in 4K. All kinds of features on this one as well. Cannot wait to dive in here. Alrighty. Put these back in. Okay, the one that keeps getting beat up from a lot of people is right on top of this one. Let me see. The Films of Rudy Ray Moore. This is a beautiful set. It's got Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, and Disco Godfather. And inside, they happen to put 3 of my partner label releases. That is really awesome of them, just so it didn't get stomped down in any way. Really nice box set. Love the way they did this. And mine, as far as I can tell, is flawless. Now, what's odd about this one is this has a different catalog number because all 4 of them are not released together. It's going to be interesting. The flesh packaging is absolutely astounding. Favorite movie of Aaron Pinn. Oh, man, that's going to stick with him for a while. That's for sure. It would have been great if the box split where the stitching is. Yes. And what's really... let me pull that one back up. I was really hoping that it had something like that on the front where it was able to be open that way, but unfortunately, no. No, Matt asked a good question. Have I heard any more about the colors being off for Flesh? For those of you that don't know, there are a lot of people saying that Flesh for Frankenstein, the 4K disc, needs a replacement disc because the colors look overly saturated. I'm going to have to watch it to find out, but a lot of people are very unhappy with the way that it looks. It's a curious one. Brian, what's going on? Glad you're here tonight. Sarda says they used to have 3D films on television every Saturday. You had to go to the local mini mart of the time to get the glasses. That's great. Yes, King Dingling. Speaking of 3D, wish they didn't do away with 3D TVs. I mean, with the amount of technology, you'd think they'd have an app for smart TVs to download. Well, it goes a little deeper than that. It's not just something to download. There is completely different components in the TV to get that done right if you are going to be using it with the actual good 3D glasses. But thankfully, on these, we have the ones that we can put the red and blue glasses on and still watch it in 3D. It's not quite as good, but it's the anaglyph. And let me see what we have here. So I'm ready to speak on it. First, Blood-A-Rama, triple feature from AGFA. This one is, gosh, AGFA alone has 35 releases so far. And this one has Help Me I'm Possessed, Night of the Strangler, and Carnival of Blood. I love these releases from AGFA. Really good stuff. And then another one from AGFA. Is this number? Oh, this is 34. Okay, so this is one that went up during the sale. This is Smut Without Smut, Satanic Horror Night. There is the inside of that one. This is the second Smut Without Smut title that they've put out. And yeah, curious what this one is like. This one sounded a lot better than the first one. Yes, passive versus active 3D. I've got a passive 3D, so I can use glasses from the theater. Nice. Take color criticism with a pinch of salt. We have no idea what their setups are. They could be watching on Vivid TV mode. That is very, very true. And the only reason that I actually stuck with it is because I heard it from quite a few different sources agreeing with it. So, I mean, really the only way I can tell is if I put it in and take a look myself. Halstead, this is from Altered Innocence. This is one that is, we'll say, controversial. This has, it's called LA Plays Itself, the Fred Halstead collection. This has LA Plays Itself with a new 4K restoration, Sex Tool, a new 4K restoration, and then the Sex Garage, a 2K restoration. And there is a lot on this triple feature. Altered Innocence does some really good work, and this is one that's not going to be for everybody. So I will go so far as to say that on that one. But one that is for everybody, Fun City Editions has not put out a bad title at all. And this is their newest one, Radio On. I adore this packaging. It has a side-loading slipcover, which is pretty rare in the Vinegar Syndrome catalog. Has a little catalog, not catalog, has a little cutout there. And then the back here looks like a tape cassette holder. And then here is, of course, the inside. This is Radio On. And the back says Fun City Tapes. This one looks really good. And it's got a fantastic soundtrack. If you look up everything on here, this is one of the best soundtracks probably in the entire catalog from anything related to Vinegar Syndrome. Skolder, what's going on? Glad you're here tonight. Going through the Vinegar Syndrome package that I got today. Then I've got in Knocking. This is one that seemed really intriguing. This is from Yellow Veil Pictures. I think the inside, oh no, it is a different color. Here's the cover, not color. There's the inside one. This one says, after suffering a traumatic incident, Molly moves into a new apartment to begin her path to recovery, but it's not long after her arrival that a series of persistent knocks and screams begin to wake her up at night. Molly's new life begins to unravel as the screams intensify, and no one else in the building believes or is willing to help her. That just sounds so intriguing to me. I can't wait to see this one. Not to mention, I don't know why, but this art really grabbed me. It's really well done. What is, let's see, that's probably the better way to show it. I really like the way that they show the faces here. Next, we have the VSAs. This is the new art for the Tiger Claws trilogy. Here is the backside here. And let's see. Matt says, I do like that slip. It's a little bit smaller than the other ones. It doesn't line up with the other Fun City. Oh, that's interesting. And yes, there was a really nice print for that title. And pulling out the bottom of the Tiger Claws trilogy with the VSAs, that's always an adventure. There you go. There's the front and back. Tiger Claws R is beautiful. By the way, this is a VSA, so there's a poster on the inside. And what I think is awesome about this is that this was a trilogy, and it was only a couple bucks more than TC 2000. And this one's only one film. So crazy that this is, about the same price. Again, slips right out of the bottom on this one. Not a bad one at all. That is, of course, Billy Blanks. And here is the backside of TC 2000. That is VSA releases number 18 and 19. Crazy. And the final one here is the super quick to sell out Summer of Fear and its slipcover. This is from Doppelganger releasing. And here is the inside, the more well-known art on here. This is Wes Craven's Summer of Fear with Linda Blair, of course. And then we can see the horse on the back there. Really surprised that Slipcover Mania has taken over Vinegar Syndrome for that. Okay, the last one in here is VSP release number 2. This is Censor. Gotta love the art on the front here. And again, not the same packaging as the other VSP release, which I think is an odd decision. Let's see. Matt's only missing Vice Academy. Good luck. That's expensive as hell. Mob Cole, what's up? I'm more of a Severin guy myself, and everybody talks about how long Severin takes to ship, but I've already got my Severin haul and none box set, but still waiting on Vinegar Syndrome. That's awesome. I am stoked for you. I can't wait to get my Severin haul. They are great. If you watched my show on Tuesday or happened to, I put them at the top of my box sets for the entire year of 2021 this year, which was kind of a cheat, I must admit. I put Christopher Lee and the Andy Milligan box at the top. Mitchell says Censor is on Vudu if you wanted to watch it. And for those of you elsewhere, this is also coming out from Second Sight in just a couple months with a beautiful limited edition release. And this is the slipcover for Censor, which, by the way, from what I hear, this is not going to be something that makes sense until you watch the film. but this is something from the film, I believe. This is Asunder and then Beastman, but it's important to know that Censor takes place within a movie theater experience, I believe. So yes, this is something that I'm sure as soon as we watch it, it will make sense. Here's the inner art for Censor. Looks really good there. Let's see. Wanted to get it in 4K. Wish that Censor had the UHD that was originally submitted. I agree. It looks like nobody got the UHD transfer. I don't think that they are finding that they can have a UHD transfer on this. Second Sight did not get the UHD. No. Yes, Brian, I would say Severin absolutely killed it this year. And I would say that they likely... Ooh, yeah, overall, they might have beat Vinegar Syndrome this year for sure. Let's see. Tom says, wonder if Severin's latest Black Friday site crash had the unintended benefit of fewer orders, faster ship times. I don't think so. I think if anything was going to have fewer orders, it was going to be last summer in 2020 when everybody had to email in their orders, but they've still been doing much better since then. Stendhal, good to see you. I'm glad you caught the show. What's up? Just got my Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday order today too. Nice. Congrats. Hope you got some good ones. Let's see. I got some other random merch items here. This is one I definitely want to open, and I'm going to be using quickly. Pull this out of here. I did call, and I will happily toot my own horn, that I did say that we would be getting this. We got where it is. I Heart New York Ninja shirts. Still odd that it's in black and not white. Matt asked, do you think we're going to be getting Drop Dead Fred from Vinegar Syndrome next year? I did not think that, but I'm actually hearing some rumblings that make me think that we are getting it from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm not going to confirm anything, obviously. Please don't take what I'm saying confirming that we are getting something from Vinegar Syndrome, but the sounds of if what I'm hearing is true on the backside, I do think that we will be getting it from Vinegar Syndrome. And since Brian Sauer just joined, what's going on, Brian? He says, did you get radio on? Absolutely. We just talked about this for a couple minutes. I can't wait to see this. I love your review on this, and really highlighted the awesome packaging on this. But the big thing is that soundtrack. I cannot wait to listen to this and see it. We've got David Bowie on here doing Heroes. We've got Ian Drury, Devo, Robert Fripp, David Bowie again, Kraftwerk, Sting, The Rumor. I mean, this is fantastic. Really, really good looking title. Cannot wait to see it. Honestly, Mitchell, I think it made more sense for Severin, and I really wish we had gotten it from them. But unfortunately, things change. So it was not meant to be, it looks like. Had to get the Last Drive-In Shudder Collection Spooky Special VHS. This is a ship-to-shore title. And also, they are putting out more of these. So if you want other things like this, and this is an actual VHS, you can go to the Ship to Shore website, and they've got, I think they've got another one available right now, actually. And you can see this is number 2 in their series. But Spookies is a delight, and I love it. So absolutely needed to get that one. There's a question for Brian here. Will we see some 2021 film discovery lists on Rupert Pumpkin Speaks this year? I devour those. I do as well, and I cannot wait to see some of those. King Dingling says this is his 4th year as a VS sub, and I got my stuff remarkably fast. That is awesome. 4 years. That's a long time. And King Dingling also says, I haven't gotten my Black Friday, but it usually takes me a month. I would say that's usually the case, but it looks like they're going a little bit faster this year. I had to get one of the New York Ninja cassette tapes. Gotta love the novelty of the green green holder there. This looks fantastic. And then just to commemorate the year, I love that they did this for the first time. They put out, it's in a little baggie here, a Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday 2021 enamel pin. And it's got the VS stitching there on Frankenstein. Looks great. All right. I think that's it. That was quite a lot. Let's see. I feel like I had another pickup I could have talked about, but I do not. I will say, if you are into it, I think I brought this up a couple weeks ago, but now that Brian is here, this is another time to bring this up. Get it out of this bag real quick. Sorry for the crinkling. One of the best things that you can do to discover some of these titles is go with the Danny Perry books of cult movies. This is number 2 in the series, and I cannot wait to dive into these. I've got the third one and the second one now. That first one gets a little expensive, and it's really hard to find. Absolutely suggest looking into the Danny Perry titles. Flickering Waves, did I order from Orbit? No, I had to find that on eBay, actually. Brian, yes, I had to get the Dick Demon, of course. We will unbox that in time for sure. But again, from Orbit, if you're looking for some good stuff, they've got the brand new You've Got Red on You from Clark Collis. Really, really great looking release. Special first limited edition print run here. More than 400 titles. Looks great. Thank you, King Dingling. Christmas Evil is the other ship to shore title, VHS, and that one also looks good. I knew Eric would have all 3 of the cult movie books. They're really good stuff. And actually, for some reason, like I was only buying it for cult movies too, but it actually came with a bonus of this book, Midnight Movies, and this one is by Stuart Samuels, which I have heard that this is really good as well. This is an older one. This is from 1983. And I cannot believe that there are, open this up to a random book page. Recognize that face, I think. Let's see. There was another one. Where'd it go? There it is. Night of the Living Dead action there. Brian, yes, I absolutely have Guide for the Film Fanatic. That is a great one, and I would highly suggest that one for anybody. Christmas Evil VHS, yes. You know what? I'm going to bring that one up because I was eyeing that one just a couple days ago. Sure. Let me share my screen here. For anybody that has not ordered from Ship to Shore, they do really good stuff. They also do the VAS releases that Vinegar Syndrome has sold on their site. Let me see. It was on the front just a little while ago. Let me search VHS. Here it is, Christmas Evil. Look at this cover too. It's a little pricey, obviously. It's $40, but it's the Shudder Collection series featuring Joe Bob. And it's got, let's see. It is the entire film on VHS and really nice art on it. And obviously, as you can see with the Spookies one, it has, brand new art, and then it's very heavily focused on Joe Bob. Let's see. Yes, it is $40. It is expensive. Let's see. Did I pick anything up from Studio House? Thanks for turning me on to that brand. Really cool designs. I did, and they have not shipped yet. Let me see. Maybe they did ship. I got a water bottle from them. I got a Reanimator tie-dye shirt, a Hereditary tie-dye shirt, and a Kill Bill tie-dye shirt. My wife does not know it yet, but I'm giving, hopefully she doesn't watch this episode, I'm giving her and my sister both a couple tie-dye shirts for Christmas. We'll see what happens. My sister might text me now saying that. Scolder, VHS is surprisingly still a very popular format. A lot of people are watching these. It is expensive, but yeah, VHS, there are people still looking out for tube TVs and trying to get them so that they can watch some of these. Stendhal says, I hope they have extra copies of Champagne left. I was an idiot, had it in my cart, but wasted time looking around. Then it sold out. Yeah, that stinks. Unfortunately, if they do have some left, you're going to want to be there right when that site reopens, and it'll, if they do have any left because they canceled orders, it'll go very fast that next time. So make sure you're ready if you really want it. Oh wow, Matt says he started the Cold War Creature set. Was super excited when I saw each film had a Kim Newman intro. Kim Newman is freaking amazing. Such like it is a film school experience every time that you hear him speak. I love it. Flickering says that Cold War Creature set has been a lot of fun. Only have to have the giant claw to watch. Kim Newman is great as always. Exactly what I was saying. I love that. And yeah, I agree with Video Store here. I really wish Danny Perry did some commentaries and some features. That would be awesome. All right. Don't we all, Brian? Don't we all? Okay. Any questions? Anything else anybody wants to see? I have a lot to catalog and put away now. that was a very busy day, for sure. Scolder, I think a lot of it is genuinely just nostalgia. People seeing things the way that they used to see it. And oddly enough, they are not very high quality, but Walmart has started selling cassettes, cassette players, and CD Walkmans. They are very low quality from what it looks like, but yeah, they are doing it for some reason. It's a return to form for physical media, I guess. Is it just me or is Kim Newman very, very sexy? I love it. Yeah, Newman doing a podcast would be a lot. And I highly recommend, people like Just the Discs, people like Kat Ellinger, people like Sam Deegan. If you can find Troy Howarth, I think, has done a couple episodes. Nathaniel Thompson has done some as well, I believe. I know he's done some YouTube things. All of those commentators are literally, in my opinion, like the perfect blend of education and having fun on some of these featurettes and commentaries. It can be so bad when you just have full-on bland, super professor side of commentaries, or you could have, the podcast that just messes around the entire time during a commentary. I don't really want either of those. I want that perfect blend, and a lot of these are the absolute perfect side, and it's so great. Stendhal, does that happen often where they have stuff that sold out, they reopen, they have more? Yes, but usually it's only orders that they were able to cancel something off of. It's not a lot. If they have any, it'll be like 30 copies at most. And they'll usually talk about it beforehand. Brian says, I happened to tune into you and Flip's chat about the best of the other night when he was showing out Cinematic Vengeance set, which I just got. I actually just got it as well. Showed it off right before you came in. Yeah, literally just got this in. Can't wait to check this out. This is really good. And as I said earlier, Flip was saying that it's like the Al Adamson set of Hong Kong cinema, which I don't know why, but that makes me more excited to watch it, which is odd. Yeah, it's definitely about nostalgia, I think, King Dingling. Remember 4-track tapes. Yeah. Yep, remember some of those. Remember 8 tracks. Remember, I mean, obviously vinyl is almost more popular than it's been in, gosh, I think the last report was that it's more popular than it's been since like 88, I want to say, something like that. It's selling around the same amount of copies. And vinyl pressing plants are literally scheduled out like 11 months right now, which is wild. Absolutely wild. Like this, we were just talking about this Bloodsport release from Waxwork. I believe this was supposed to come out like 8 months ago. This was supposed to be like a March or April release originally, and it just came in December. Crazy. Sarda says, when I went into the military, my mom got rid of the portable player and the tapes. Life sucks sometimes. That's awesome. That's sad, but yeah. All right, everybody. I think that's it for the night. I've got a few things to put away, obviously. And yeah, we are going to be doing this again next week for sure. Hope you come back. We will be having some good releases. I have already heard one or two that are going to be getting announced this weekend. And yeah, curious to see what everybody thinks. Hope that everybody has a good week. Stay healthy. And if there's anything else that comes up that you want, send it in the comments below. I try to answer everything. Happy to spend some time with everybody this week. It's been a good time and literally almost exactly 2 hours. So as I always say, from one collector to all of you, hope you guys have a good night. See you next time.